Welcome to Scattercast. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year soon to be. This is Scattercast episode 7. Hope everyone had a Merry Christmas and holidays, whatever you celebrate. And hope the new year treats you guys all well. It's coming up. So today we have, this is Dirt, and we have with us the full crew, starting with Gainer. How are you?
Doing well.
All right, and then we got Poot Nannies. What's up?
What up, what up?
And then, of course, last and always least, the Odious.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Everybody have a good Christmas?
Yeah. Good
Yeah,
Christmas.
kind of.
Very good, very good.
Any interesting gifts?
Oh, go ahead.
Were you going to say something, Teddy?
Oh, no, just thinking out loud. Like,
Oh, okay. How about you, Gainer? I know you got a couple new games.
Yeah, I got Man of Medina. I don't know how to pronounce
The
it.
Dark Pictures
Medan.
Anthologies? Yeah.
Medan.
yeah.
Medan.
Man of
Medina.
Medan, which I'm very excited. Got Resident Evil 2. Got Last of Us 2. Got Dreams. Got PlayStation Card. Yeah, got lots of good games to play.
I got a really cool Disneyland book, Walt Disney's Disneyland. It's a big, hefty book. Talks about the creation of Disneyland. A lot of cool historical photos. Got this microphone that I'm speaking on right now, so I hope everybody can hear me better. Trying to think what else. I got a tabletop skee ball, some Legos.
Oh, nice.
Deadly Tables Top Skee Ball.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because it's got like a little spring load, and if you pull it all the way back, it shoots the little metal BB super far, so it's pretty dangerous.
Dangerous is fun.
Yeah, but it was a good Christmas. So how's everybody doing? Let's go around the table, the virtual table, and see what everybody's been playing, watching. Anything new this last week? Start with you, Theodius. Anything new?
I just got that Game Pass, so I've been
Ooh, me too.
dibbling in that and seeing when I could go back and try out that I've watched a lot of Let's Plays on.
Okay. Yeah.
So far, Children of Morta, I haven't started it up, but I watched a Let's Play about a month ago, and I'm really excited to get into that.
Sweet.
And then I'm looking forward to playing Deep Rock Galactic with you guys.
Oh yeah, I tried that out also on Game Pass, and it's pretty interesting. I think it's a lot more fun with everybody, like a full team.
I'm thinking I may end up getting maybe just the Xbox One. No, the Xbox. What's the new S?
Oh, the S.
The
Series
digital
S.
one, maybe?
Just for Game Pass.
Yeah, I think it's a really nice system. I mean, there's a ton of multiplayer games, especially. How about you, Gainer?
Been playing, busted open those games I've been playing for Christmas. So Resident Evil 2 is the one I'm doing right now, the remake. So I'm going through
Nice.
players' first story.
Yeah, I saw you playing.
Finish 7?
What's that?
Did you ever finish 7?
I didn't. No, I have it on the PlayStation Now collection, their PlayStation Plus collection, but I have not gone back to play it yet. It's kind of like I get distracted by the newest thing that comes in. So
Yeah, it's hard when you
Detroit
get a bunch of games to kind of settle just on
about the
one and focus on
7
one.
remake.
7 remake. That was gonna be my next one to start up. I told Dirt I was gonna play that one next, but I ended up getting distracted now by this one, and I want to play through RE2 remake because then I do want to play the
Yeah, I
what's the
see.
anthology called? The whole anthology.
The Dark Angel,
The Dark Pictures anthology.
Pictures. Yeah,
Yeah.
I see.
Oh, I do
You
wanna
already see
play
you
through
moving pretty quickly through RE2 with your unlimited,
Not to mention anything else.
your infinite grenade launcher.
Yes, I do have an infinite launcher. That's all I need to say. But then,
But he's just trying to get through for the story.
He
I don't
called
blame
you
him.
out. I know. I do that.
I was playing.
then also,
I was playing Metal Gear Solid 4 on easy, and I'm just standing in the middle of a war zone, just soaking up bullets, and I just shoot everybody once and they die. I was like, man, it's not even a game.
and then watched Wonder Woman.
Oh yeah,
Oh, I'm hearing not so good things about that movie.
And if you listen to me talk, you would hear the same too.
oh, trying to say he doesn't let you talk.
No.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I agree.
They're all-
That's
they're
all
all
I meant. I didn't mean
cutting
that. Yeah, he's just gonna talk.
Sounded
No,
like
I would agree with it. I did not find it as appealing as Wonder Woman 1. And I had to go look online to see if it's the writing, what's different from 1 to 2. And I
Very
didn't enjoy it
different
as much.
tone than part one. It gets.
fine.
I think it gets better, and I like the performances. Like I like Pedro Pascal, and I liked Kristen Wiig in it, and Chris Pine. I like his little parts in there. But it was a weird movie, and it starts off super cheesy.
But I guess that's what they were going for, the 80s superhero, Superman sort of vibe.
From what I understand, they were trying to mimic what Guardians of the Galaxy did with the 80s and going back to that style and that, sort of, call back to the 80s. But they actually went to the 80s, but
it was like not just like took place in the 80s, but they actually like tried to make it seem like a movie that was made in the 80s. Like kind of like a lot of like looking and winking and like cheesy stuff like that, and really
I never got a Guardian of the Galaxy vibe from it.
Like really stupid, like
right.
Buffoon, like robbers who are super incompetent and bumbling around. It's like how did these guys even robbers? Like I don't know.
Yeah, I'm finding that a lot mostly with DC movies. They're not believable. Like we just want you to believe that Superman can fly. It's like, yeah, I get it, but you have to make everything else believable.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And I can see if there's camp, because sometimes they'll make movies campy on purpose.
But it's got to be like done
You know
well.
what I think
Yeah,
it
it's
is?
really hard to pull off.
Yeah.
I think DC is 100%. I mean, X-Men and Marvel is 100% fiction, but it's fiction based in a real world in real cities. Whereas DC is based in the real world in fake cities that are somewhere near
Washington, D.C. is a real city, though.
Yeah, because DC kind of mixes it up, right, with real cities and fake cities, or
Well, with Batman, at
Yeah,
least.
Batman's from Arkham,
And,
which is near New York somewhere, but we don't know.
Or
Is it
Gotham.
south, north, east of New York? I don't know.
But like
It
the
can be.
movies, though, the DC movie universe, are all based on real places, though, aren't they?
they also have Gotham
DC?
and
Is Gotham?
Metropolis.
No, Gotham is near New York.
And what is it, Metropolis?
Metropolis.
Metropolis is in Chicago, I believe, or something. No, Kansas, near Kansas City.
It's not near Kansas, is it?
Because where is
Yeah, because that's where he was raised. Or
That's where he
Well,
was
that's where
raised.
he's raised. Doesn't mean that.
No, he was always
Well,
near home. He was always near home.
Wonder Woman. Well, for Superman, everywhere is near home. But Wonder Woman, it takes place in D.C. It doesn't have any sort of.
But
It doesn't mention.
Yeah, the Damascara. They
I'm
mention a
saying-
fake place. That's where
True.
she's from. So
It
they're
does
fake.
mention that, but I'm saying it doesn't mention Gotham. It doesn't mention Arkham. It doesn't mention Metropolis. It doesn't mention those
Star
places.
City.
Star Cities for the
A
Flash.
Star City.
Where's
yeah.
what's his name at?
Aquaman.
No, the
Atlantis.
Flash. The Flash is in
Star City.
No,
Central.
that's,
Was it Central City or?
no, the Arrows in Star City.
Oh,
Yeah, he's next to Star City. Wasn't it Central?
it is Central.
It's probably Central City. Yeah, I have to look it up though.
Central City.
Yeah.
But
Woo!
Wonder Woman's fake
Nerd point.
thing is Themyscira.
But that's just her.
Batman's fake place is Arkham. Superman's fake place is small. But all these villains and all
But
these
they
heroes,
also exist.
they all come from fake places that exist in the real world somewhere.
So they can also go to real cities too, right? Like
Yeah,
Washington
they-
D.C. still
they-
exists.
they
Okay.
do. But DC is more like, or Marvel is more like, you can go down New York and this is where they had the Avengers Tower. It's more believable because you can actually go to that place and see this is where this just except for Wakanda, we know that.
And what did you think about Cheetah? I mean, I liked her up until she turned into a literal cheetah. There was
But
no
then I was
reason.
thinking about it.
She
Throughout
doesn't
the whole
turn.
movie, there's only a very few set action pieces in there.
No, it's very
because
light on action.
It's very light on action because also it's the whole Superman problem. You don't have anyone who could be a threat to Wonder Woman unless
Yeah.
it's like a group of people. And so, in order to have like a villain for her to actually have a fight with,
She has to be weaker.
they needed to have that cheetah villain.
But
'Cause
she doesn't turn into I don't ever think she turns into a cheetah in the comic.
Yeah,
She just has that.
She looks like a cheetah. She's a cheetah.
In
looking
the
she's
lady.
movie,
like a
she actually
humanoid
turns into a
form,
cheetah.
and she's covered all in fur.
Yeah.
Kind of like what was that book that my brother used to love?
Oh, the
Anime.
furries
Oh.
with the
It wasn't
furries.
furry. It was the black, the black guy who created it, and he loved it, and he went to Anime
Yes.
Expo and saw
Oh,
him
we
there.
saw him at Anime Jam and stuff too. I think
Yeah. What was that?
it was
What
Furries,
it?
Adventures of the Furries.
Yeah, you can call them. They're not furries per se.
furries.
They're not humans and.
They're furries,
and
but it's okay.
Wow.
Everybody
But
takes their
Gold
own.
Digger.
Gold Digger or something. Yeah.
That's what cheetah remind me of, like the Gold Digger, where they're humanoid, but they're all in fur. And she has a tail, and she has ears like a cat, but she looks more humanoid. But they had her actually turn into a kitty cat.
No, I'm sorry.
No.
It's the same. She was a humanoid covered in fur, but there was no need for her because in the movie, I guess spoilers for the movie, she just wishes to be more powerful, more confident, more sexy. And then she ends up becoming a cheetah.
She does not end up being cheetah. Then she gets cheetah later on when she wants the rage.
Well, she wants
It's the
rage,
of the
and then she adds rage, and she adds. But that didn't happen to anybody else. Like people wished for things, they didn't transform into animals. How come she did?
And she looks dumb.
Well, that's what I'm telling. Like, it's not just DC, really. It's like
Yeah.
a lot of the new movies.
Yeah,
They don't have a logical progression to suspend your disbelief enough that it's kind of takes you out of the movie, and you're like, "Okay, this is dumb."
Yeah.
While you're watching the movie for the first time,
yeah.
And they have a lot of cool villains in DC, and they never really do them any proper.
Do you though?
I think the only one they've ever done proper justice is the Joker, and that was
Batman has a ton because they're all like Freud style
And
portraits of personality.
Joker's like Hamlet of movies. You know, it used to be a joke
Yeah.
like every actor plays Hamlet. And that's kind of how it is now with Joker. It's like every actor gets a turn at playing a Joker.
so Patrick Stewart's going to play Joker.
He'll be next. He'll be
Maybe he will. He's a really old Joker.
oh. Patrick
Retired
Stewart is Joker.
Retired Joker.
Brings him back out of retirement with the makeup. And...
Like, what's up with the British accent, Joker?
Well, how many Jokers in the last couple of years have there been? A ton. There's Joaquin
there's
Phoenix.
Four. You have.
Well, there's Joaquin Phoenix, Jared Leto, and
Jared Leto.
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
and then Jack
Jack
Nicholson.
Nicholson
Jack
before that.
Nicholson.
And before him was the other guy.
Romero,
No,
Cesar Romero,
Oh, is that who it was who played it?
was it?
the one on the TV show.
The TV
Yeah.
show, yeah.
Yeah.
Cesar Romero.
Okay.
I don't remember his name now. Maybe that's his name. I don't know.
But my favorite three are Jack Nicklaus.
Nicholson.
Nicholson. Nicholas is like
Nicholas,
a golfer.
Yeah, that's right.
Same thing. They're
Nicholson.
the same guy. They look the same. Jack Nicholson.
Sod. Nickel.
Oh, now he's Japanese. Nicholson.
Nicholson. Heath Ledger
Yeah.
and
Don't say Jared Leto.
Cesar
I didn't mind
Romero.
him.
Oh, that's right. It is Jared Leto. He's on
Yeah.
Suicide Squad.
Yeah, I didn't
Yeah.
mind him. Actually, I liked his was different than anybody
did.
else's. His wasn't.
Yeah, but different doesn't always mean good.
You know what? Me and my girl just had
we were
this
saying good. We were just
conversation
saying-
today, and I beg to differ. Different always means better.
It does not always mean it can. Sometimes you have to get different, but just because it's different doesn't by default make it better.
Well, yeah, different. Was he?
Have you seen a JP Suicide Squad?
No, I should watch it because I like to watch bad movies. Because I
Yeah.
think for me personally, I learn more about movies.
We need
from
to-
bad movies.
We need to, because you can see what they did wrong. And
Yeah, you
stuff.
just take a good movie for granted. So you're like, they didn't do anything special, and it's not until you see a bad movie you're like, why does
That's
this not work?
true. I mean, it's hard to make a good movie. So when you see
Yeah,
so
it
many
is.
good movies, you kind of lose appreciation for them until you see the bad ones.
Yeah. Like when I saw Batman versus Superman, I was like, oh my goodness! I didn't want to watch it again, but I went online to read about this, read the script,
Yeah.
and a lot of things had changed apparently.
Yeah.
But even if they kept some of the things in the original script, it still would have been dumb in my opinion. It just didn't have a focus.
Yeah.
It didn't know who to focus
Or
on.
That's what DC has the issue with.
But they make good animation.
They make the best animation. You are right. They should have stick to that. Just go
Yeah.
into computer animation.
I think
Forget
they
live
can.
action.
They're so close to doing like theatricals. I think if they just got a little bit bigger budget, put out their animated films like in
If
theaters.
they just made their movies like their comics and quit trying to okay, how is it gonna look not comic-fied. No, keep it comic-fied and go with it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Don't try to change it
Yeah.
for audiences. Just
Well, I think in
be
my
original.
opinion, get a director who's not really super interested in comics. First of all,
That's true.
just like
Yeah.
Nolan. I'm not saying it should be like Nolan, but
Yeah.
I'm saying the point was Nolan just made it his, and it was good because he was comfortable with it, which was like a super realistic style.
Mhm.
Whereas someone else who could be really stylized but doesn't make comic book movies could probably really do something with it.
Well, I think you need the comic book mind behind it. I mean, you think of Marvel. That's what Marvel's been doing. I mean, they put Josh Whedon on the Avengers, and it was awesome. It was amazing because Josh Whedon is he's a X-Men writer. He wrote for X-Men and a couple other comics.
Yeah, but then he went downhill. What happened to Joss Whedon?
He's been focusing on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. with his brother.
Yeah,
and that was
Agents
good.
of S.H.I.E.L.D. was good I liked it.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
I didn't like that they split it off from the main.
But the second Avengers movie, and then he came on board and finished, what's it called? The Zack Snyder one. The Justice League.
Yeah. That's because he was trying to sabotage DC for Marvel.
Yeah,
He's a double agent.
He's like, how do you like this? This is my best work.
How about you, Pooh Nannies? I know you got a couple games a week or two ago, right? Have you had a chance to play them out? Death Stranding?
Yeah, I finished. This is the Zodiac speaking.
How is that?
It just isn't very good.
Oh.
Although because it was so buggy, I didn't play with the. There's two modes. There's one with the killer that, for some reason, Zodiac can kill you, and then there's another one where he's not there. He's not hunting you.
Oh, weird.
And I was like, okay, I'll just do that because they say it keeps freezing and where he's how would you say, he's teleporting around and it doesn't make, it's like it was like broken, and it was one of the biggest reasons to be getting refunded. So I was like, I'll just turn that off, and it was a mistake because it was so boring, and the puzzles are not puzzles. They're just go here, collect that, and it kind of does the puzzle for you in a way. Like I don't know how to explain it. If you try it, you'll see what I mean. There's like probably one good puzzle, and I don't want to give it away.
Okay.
And it's not even that good. It's like it's been done before. It has to do with train tracks and putting them correctly. That's it. Everything else was like just go here.
But it's mostly just puzzles, though. It's a puzzle game.
Yeah, and then there was another thing about it, which was don't rely on it for accuracy. It is highly inaccurate compared to like the real details because it's an unsolved crime. So if you were to play the game, there are some real details in it, but there's a lot that they just threw in there.
So it's not really like a true crime game at all, or?
Yeah, like I'll give you an example. There's one where they count this girl that died in '66. They say that was a Zodiac victim, but it's never been proven. But the game just says it is.
Okay.
And then you go there, and it's like, well, Zodiac, he turned off, he sabotaged the light in the street so that you couldn't see him. That's not true. That never happened. So you go through like these. The way the game breaks down is, and I can kind of see why they did this, but I think they could have used real.
Like Hollywoodized it, I guess. Just kind of.
Oh, it's like beyond that, but they kind of made excuse for it, which gives away the story. So I don't want to give that away. So they sort of made an excuse for why they made up stuff. But I could understand if it was a fun game. I would be okay, whatever. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't.
Well, it didn't make it fun anyway, so it wasn't really worth fudging it up.
It's just if you're a Zodiac file, you might like some things here and there. The coolest part of the game is the visual style because sort of a toon look to it. Not the greatest, but it really captures the 60s and 70s look that I think 90s kids like us get the vibe from when we used to look at those old pictures from our parents.
Yeah, they look freaky and they look.
Yeah. So they did that without like any textures for the most part. Okay. It's just shaders, and it works. I mean, it looks good, but it was just like wasted, like without real thought put into it. So whoever was behind like capturing how a '60s house looked, because it really does look like that, they did a good job. But everything else was not good.
How about Death Stranding?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna say there's Death Stranding, And Death Stranding is
I played a
it's not
couple
bad.
hours of it.
I'll say it's okay. It's a good game. It's not great,
Have you got your
but it's a
motorcycle
good
yet?
game. Yes, I already
Okay.
got the motorcycle.
Okay.
The forest. It's funny though, because I mean, it looks like in a lot of ways the way the game plays is sort of like a modded Metal Gear, so you can tell that.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can tell it's running like that engine or that. I don't know.
and just some of the quirks about it, like how the menus work and how your skills work, and how to
Yeah.
type each button that way. It reminds me. It's very Kojima-ish. Which, by the way, if you forgot Kojima made this game, he puts it like 20 times in the intro.
Yeah, I do. I like the atmosphere,
have-
like that very first walk you go on, like that song starts playing and you're over that mountain range and stuff, and
Yeah,
it's really
it's-
cool.
Have you noticed any of the celebrity guest stars in your?
Well, I mean,
for
Guillermo del Toro
your
is like a
drop-offs?
huge character.
Well, no. When
Yeah.
you're dropping off your packages, each of the
Oh.
little holograms that pop up are
Yeah.
popular, famous people. So even Kojima's in one of them, I believe.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
yeah. I know.
Well,
Mads
spoilers.
isn't Mads Mikkelsen. He's
I
he's in
noticed-
there as a character.
What I
Yeah.
did notice is when you drop
Yeah,
off
man.
stuff, little holograms come up.
Yeah,
Yeah, those people you're talking about, their mouths are not animated well, so I can tell that they weren't motion captured in the face part.
Wow.
Mhm.
I think Conan O'Brien is one of them too.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he made
Oh,
it
that'll
in there.
be interesting. But otherwise, it's actually not bad. But it's like I said, it's not great. I'd rather play.
I keep wishing there was. I mean, I sound cliche, but I keep wishing there was a gun. I keep wishing you could shoot somebody.
Well, I've ran over. I've killed someone
Yeah,
on bike, which I was weird because you can make the bike speed out, right? It goes from a 3-wheeler to a 2-wheeler,
yeah.
and then it can go really fast in place. Like you can set it up so you can. I think you can press.
I never really understood what triggers, because when you're walking, sometimes you'll be in an area with all those shadows. I never really learned like how to
Oh,
avoid them, and when you get in there, you
I
just have
see.
to.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, the game is very confusing, by the way.
Yeah,
And when you start figuring it out, it's not like a great idea either. It's interesting, it's new, but it's not. Again, it's not amazing. That's what I hate about this game. It's like Metal Gear was amazing, and they always made it higher and higher every game. This game is more about exploration. So just put everything else aside
yeah.
and just focus on exploring, see how far you can go. I found a hidden spot already, which was pretty cool. Did not expect it, and I was climbing up this mountain to get around. Oh yeah, let me talk about this first. So the way the game works is,
Because you're connecting America, right?
so yes,
These networks, neural
something has
networks.
happened. Something has happened in the United States. It's not the same country. It's like basically broken up into like these secluded cities, and it's I'm not trying to give anything away, but the main problem in the gameplay, which justifies the walking and just using a motorcycle and stuff, is that there's this rain called timefall,
Yeah,
and that's what you got to look
Oh,
out for.
Yeah.
It'll show up in your map, I think, at times
and
as an area where you should not go because there's a storm. And if that rain touches you, it ages you significantly. So the cargo you carry gets damaged, and that's your whole thing, by the way. You're a mailman.
yeah. You're just trying to bring the cargo where you're supposed to with the most amount of value
Right.
still, and connect networks.
And you
Yeah,
want to stay
that-
as
and
little
you-
time as timefall as possible.
And
What-
you don't want it to go bad. You can't shift it too much or to
Yeah, because
mess it up.
Yeah, right.
because that's like the mini game, right? Is you have to adjust your
But-
load on your back, sometimes to the side, up and down.
But the main character's main issue here, as what he does and why it's important, is because of this timefall. So therefore, not everyone can do it. And there's something
Yeah,
else.
that's right. He
When
doesn't get
someone
affected with
dies-
something.
Yeah, so the game, I gotta say, it was very. Remember at E3 when they showed it, and it was like, whoa, this is so trippy. In the end, like when you see what's really going on, it's not really.
Yeah. What about the dice thing? You're starting to say that right now. So something special happens when they die.
Okay, so yeah, so when they die, they create a humongous crater on the Earth, which probably explains why America is not what it used to be, and why everything is like turned to green and nature again. Something happened. Here's a spoiler, just a
Okay.
warning. So apparently, mankind has met up with its mirror version in another sort of like a mirror universe called what do they call it? The chiral something.
Yeah.
It's basically
So with the CH, right?
yes.
CHI.
So it's basically something that can be a mirror image of itself, but cannot be is not perfectly symmetrical, so it won't match up if put next to each other. But if it's facing each other, it matches. But if it's next to each other, it's a
Oh, so it's basically like an image projection of the.
it's something chiral. It's something scientific like chemistry or something where something doesn't match. So they just use that name to describe it, and it's for some reason it's a beach, and they call it the beach in capital. It's not
Yeah.
the DiCaprio movie, but it's the beach. And over there is there's a bunch of beached whales and dead stuff everywhere, and it's like black water, and you'll see these handprints pop up like as if something's walking there, but nothing's actually walking there. It's a floating thing, and what do they call them? The
I can't
the
remember.
BTs.
Yeah,
They call them
BTs.
BTs.
Hey,
And these things float, and wherever they float, these hands will pop up on the ground, or invincible hands. And if that touches you, it I don't know what exactly happens. It kills you, I guess.
Then it makes the ground ooze, and that's when it tries to bring you down, right? Oh no, the BTs.
Yeah. So if you get caught, let's say it finds you, the ooze will just start to come up like as if the ground's turning into it, and you'll see trucks in the old world coming up, what used to be there, I guess. And there's giant dead whales that will come after you, and dolphins, and people that try to grab you into it. You have to shake them off, outrun it. Now, if it happens again, I don't know if you die, because I haven't died normally yet. in the
Yeah.
game.
So I'm saying
Pretty easy game.
I've never died in that. I always outrun it, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah, exactly. You do die on one part where you can't avoid, and when you do die, it's actually like 3 of you that die. Remember, it's in the truck part in the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
So that part, when you die, there's a big thing that pops up, and it looks like a humongous BT with an umbilical cord sticking out of it. And suddenly you die, and what it shows later, you basically are in the beach underwater, and you see your body there, and you are your soul. So you have to swim back to your body.
That's right.
Body will swallow the soul and be alive again outside of the beach now. It'll be back in the real world.
And the BBs, they can kind of sense it, right? That's why you have to carry them around with you.
So the whole thing with the babies, which was like, people were wondering what that's all about in the trailers and stuff. That is just a baby that was born from a still mother, so it has supposedly a connection to death. So there's only so many of those, or they're I don't know everything about the BBs yet, other than the one I have. I can see his memories.
Yeah, and I think we're supposed to. I don't know if it's spoilers, and I don't remember too much, but I know we're supposed to like dispose of it, right, at a certain time or a certain place.
Yeah, so that's the thing. And how can you find? How do you know you'll get another BB? So my guess is that they are.
It looks like he's not wanting to dispose of it, or he's connected to it.
Well,
and he doesn't.
I'm thinking that they are making these babies, test tube babies, in a still mother, in a dead human body that they preserve or something, so that it has this ability. And then that's where you get to like the whole anime Japanese thing, which is the main character has these things called dooms, which just means that he can sense BTs. Some people can see the BTs. He barely has any dooms, so he can just only sense them when they're around.
Okay, but that's what makes him special. That's why he's a courier, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So far, nobody with any sort of dooms ability has become a mule. Mule is a person who used to be part of society and now has become addicted to. This is the kind of funny part, and it does make sense in a way, because when you think about.
But I remember at the beginning, super confusing. It's a whole new language. You got to learn all these terms.
Right, and it sounds boring what I'm saying, and it's not really super interesting. It is trying to be somewhat realistic. So, like in the future, everything's automated, so people don't have purpose, right? Because they don't work, because they're not needed anymore.
Yeah.
So these mules are people who used to deliver goods from city to city, but they've gotten so addicted to it that when they're not needed, they instead started stealing packages from other deliverers, not to take for themselves, but to deliver it themselves, so that they would take the credit. And there's a whole like system, just like today. Like if somebody delivers what is that? Uber and all that, they get likes, and they get stars.
You can.
So that's the same thing that's going on here. You get stars and you get likes, and the more you get, the more popular you are, and the more people know who you are. And so the people who've sort of gotten addicted to it are called mules, basically bandits who steal the packages but will deliver it themselves and take the money. Actually, there's like no money. It's just reputation. That's all it is. And reputation, it gets you a free room and everything. So the game is sort of realistic about how a dystopian future would look like, but how that future came about wasn't the same realistic way. It's not explained really well.
And you can connect to
there's a whole president thing going on.
Your sister's like on the other side of the world, and I know you can connect to her.
It's not the other side of the world.
Oh, she's hidden, right? She's captured. Ocean. Isn't she captured?
Yeah, she's in the Pacific, in the area
that's right.
West Coast.
Yeah, because you're on the East Coast is where you start.
And what they notice is that if she's there...
So she's the president's... She's the president's daughter, right?
Yeah, so she can sense when there's a BT attack coming and all that, so they won't let her go. Yet they... I guess sort of spoiler alert again. The real president ends up dying. You find out that you're the president's son, and so the president's daughter is your sister, and she wants you to make the trek west.
That's right.
And connect the United States, not to save her, she says, but to.
I see. I like the world and I like the story, just the gameplay. That's what made me stop playing. But I kind of want to go back.
Yeah, that's right. So if you expect it to be fun, it's not.
Yeah.
If you expect it to be fun for exploring, that's where it's interesting. If you explore, and you just really test yourself. Like I try not to rest between missions. I just go.
Traversing the landscape gets hard though. And you got to put these ladders up everywhere, and
you find out clever little things. Oh, and then there's the whole little weird thing going on, which is other players can interact with you, but not directly. So they can leave. You can leave like a stair. I mean.
Ladders, ropes,
or a bridge. Somebody's built me a bridge, and I built them a bridge.
Okay.
And you can't just build these things whenever you want. You gotta have the ingredients for them.
And then you can like stuff that other people have built and give them a reputation.
By the way, I'm using the PlayStation 4 controller for this. I was using the 8-bit though one.
Yeah.
But I went instead with the PS4 because it's made for it. Okay. So it uses the touchscreen.
With a little touchpad on
stuff
top.
like that, and for talking, So you want to talk to other players if they're playing in the same area as you. You won't see them, but they can answer back. So it's kind of cool, kind of a cool concept, I have to say. But like I said, it's just a cool concept and not really a cool game, if that makes sense.
But at least you can always count on it being different from Kojima.
Yeah, and that's why I say like there's a lot of little details that make it interesting, but as a game mechanic. You got to think of I'm thinking Metal Gear. There was the sneaking around effect.
Yeah, the gameplay just doesn't feel as good.
This is you can sneak around these mules if you want, and the rain that's coming down in areas, but it's not really that interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I gotta say. It sort of drags a bit too, but it's addicting because it's like a phone game where you just want to collect everything. And see if you can get more likes and more stars and the full rating. And that's what makes it addictive, I think. Sort of taps into that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think I have the patience for that.
Yeah, I don't know I don't think it's a Theodius type of game. I think you would
you might, because you like world building.
Yeah, but I think you'd get bored with it after a while. Because sometimes those treks are long.
Yeah.
They are long, and you don't have a motorcycle, and oh my goodness, it's forever.
Up through these mountains, and it's rough terrain. Walking. It's never plains either. It's always these freaking hills. And when you're going down the hills, you start running by yourself, and you gotta steady yourself.
I should explain that too. This is a major component of the gameplay, but you can avoid this. This is what I hate. You can avoid it, so it becomes super easy and boring. So our right trigger and left trigger are your left hands and right hands respectively. And you can steady yourself and the amount of package you have, which makes it harder for you to balance. So that's the thing, if you want to take on a job that uses a lot of packages, you risk more. That's the mechanic.
Yeah.
And so you may fall and damage the packages, or you may even fall off a cliff on some areas. But really, it's just hold R and L at the same time, and you will make it through everything.
Yeah, that's what kind of steadies you if you hold them together.
Yes.
Right?
and it just slows you down just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
It doesn't slow you down enough. If you're all the way packaged, and I mean like crazy super
And
skyscraper
you just
amount
hold those.
on your back.
You can hold them the whole time and just walk like that, and you'll never
Yes,
fall.
you can actually use your forward momentum,
Wow.
and this is insane. You can go super fast, and you'll have to tap R and L as soon as it tells you to,
Mhm.
and you could sort of, but you also got to be careful how you turn because that also dictates
Yeah.
which way you're gonna be tossed. So you can go really fast with a lot of weight, but it's a big risk. So it has interesting stuff like that. If you're going uphill even a little bit, you will literally go less than a mile an hour. Like it is so slow.
All right. And
You might have to drop all your stuff off.
It's a patient simulator.
Yeah, it is. It has,
yeah, it's a
I'll
balancing
say this: like,
simulator.
it's a walking simulator. Yes, that's true, but it is still interesting. So, Kojima made a walking simulator interesting, is what I'll say about it.
Yeah. I mean, he made a gunfighting action game, basically.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there's not a whole lot of games you can do without, I guess, some kind of combat. And he kind of pulled it off.
Yeah.
Like an action
We'll
game.
say this: like Metal Gear was what made it interesting was sneaking around and being stealthy and shooting some and knocking out others. This game is like a challenge, I guess, for him. How do I make a walking game fun? I'll make it so that you have to do, correct your balance constantly and be careful how fast you turn and that sort of thing. Make mechanics based around that, and I have to admit, it is interesting. But like I say, it doesn't really captivate as good as almost any other game.
Yeah.
You know,
Because even when you load up your gear, you can kind of auto let it.
Yeah,
there's like an auto button. It'll like automatically configure it to the best way.
It takes so long that you have to.
Yeah.
Unless you want to get bored.
Yeah, because you have so many little squares and little pieces and ladders and extra equipment that you bring with you. So you just
press triangle and
yeah.
auto does it for you.
Yeah.
It'll put the heaviest stuff on the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you find stuff while you're walking around too. So it's not like just what you leave with.
Yeah. Right now it's on sale. I think it's still on sale for $30 on Steam. It's worth it for that amount. If you're a Kojima nerd, like you're a huge fan, then it would probably be worth the $60. But I'd say for the average person, you would still get several hours worth of entertainment.
Yeah, I got it day one, on PS4 when it came out, but
oh, you did?
Yeah. So, but I'd stopped after a while.
Yeah,
but
I can see it takes a lot of commitment.
Yeah, but moving on, I watched Soul yesterday, the new Pixar film that just came out. It was really, really good. I really liked it. It's different than what I thought it was. Have you guys seen the trailers for it?
No, I haven't heard of it.
Oh, it's a Disney Pixar film, just came out, animation.
Oh yes, I did.
It has what's his name on it? The singer. You know his name, Gainer.
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx.
Oh, that's who the actor is? Oh.
And Tina Fey.
And Tina Fey. So it was really good. I like it. And
where do you think it falls in the Pixar
I think
world?
Probably on the top rung, but near the bottom of the. I mean, because I don't have like a favorite. I kind of have just groups of like the excellent, the good.
Above Cars 2, but below Good Dinosaur.
What's that?
Above Cars 2, but below Good Dinosaur.
Yes. What'd you say, Apu?
I said Toy Story 3 level. Because that was really good storytelling.
Yeah, I'm like not a huge Toy Story fan, but Toy Story 3 is my favorite Toy Story.
Yeah, exactly. For me, I like the first one, don't like the second. Really like the third. I was surprised.
Yeah, third is good, and then fourth was good. I was kind of disappointed with the ending of Toy Story 4, but
was it like WALL-E was kind of interesting.
WALL-E's my favorite Pixar movie.
So it's not as good as WALL-E.
Not as good as WALL-E, but it's in that group. It's up there with, kind of like Inside Out. I don't know if you guys have seen that one.
Oh yeah.
It's around there. I'd place it right there.
So my question actually was, where do you think it fits in the Pixar theory?
Ooh, what's the Pixar
Thanks
theory?
for asking my question about where your personal pick, but in the Pixar theory, where do you think that one falls? Onward, Inside Out.
What's the Pixar theory?
Pixar theory is that it's all a timeline. And
that every movie's in the same universe.
And if you listen to it and watch, like, you can go to pixartheory.com and they actually have the explanation of where it starts, and that even the girl from Monsters Inc.
Boo
is actually the old woman from what's that movie with the girl and she's in the past? Oh, Brave.
Brave?
Remember the old woman the witch?
Yeah, but that's different.
She was going. No. Watch the theory, and you're gonna believe. You're gonna open your heart to the theory of Pixar.
Create your own theory, Teddy. Create
No,
Teddy's theory of.
no, it's interesting because it's a timeline where like Wall-E is there's an evolution going where ants learned how to talk. Then toys become animated, and then humans disappear because they're in space. So there's monsters on Earth now. But before then, they were the animals learned how to talk in the past. That way, Finding Nemo can happen, and they can understand humans. And it's just this weird, like.
But what about the humans in Monsters Inc.?
Well, that because they're in Monsters Inc. You got to remember it's a different universe, parallel universe.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So you're
world.
saying it's a universe within it?
It's just the timeline of which these events happen, whether they happen in our world or in a different world, or that's why you see the pizza truck in every episode in every movie because it's part of that world.
Even in like Brave and there's that pizza truck in there.
Look it up, and they'll show you where the pizza truck is in Brave. They'll show you where the pizza truck.
Easter eggs like that, and not necessarily mean something important, right?
Yeah, but you're taking away the joy of the Pixar theory. Stop it.
Okay, I'll stop. I'll take off my science cap.
So I'm gonna backtrack a little. So I put it in the second rung for me. So below, Wall-E, up, Finding Nemo. It's in that group below that, with Toy Story 3, with let's see, some other high end.
Where's Monsters Inc. for you?
Monsters Inc.'s in the first group for me.
Okay.
I really like Monsters Inc. And Inside Out. What's that?
Ants.
Ants is not Pixar.
What? That
DreamWorks.
was the first one.
Bugs Life.
Bugs Life.
There's Bugs Life.
Bugs Life. Sorry.
Bugs Life is second tier.
Ants was the answer from DreamWorks.
To Bugs Life.
Yeah, there was 2 ant movies.
Remember, there used to be like multiple penguin movies and multiple ants movies, and
they did it with Finding Nemo. Finding Nemo came out, and then Will Smith came out with Fishtail. I was like, oh. You don't remember Fishtail?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, there was every studio's doing their own clones of each other. Remember when there was like 2 like volcano movies in the same year?
Yeah, there was like Dante's Inc. with Pete with Remington Still guy.
Yeah,
There was the gorilla movie where they go to that island.
Congo,
yeah.
And then there wasn't 2 tornado movies in the same year. Twister.
Oh, there was Joe versus the volcano.
All right, but we do got to move along.
yeah.
It's going to start running along. Sorry, what's that? Go ahead, Teddy.
I was going to say that the story starts in the 4th and the 15th century with Brave, and then it goes through to the 1950s.
Before Brave.
Huh?
Good Dinosaurs before Brave.
Good
Well,
Dinosaurs.
this is not including the Good Dinosaur and all that stuff.
Oh, so they're just going to exclude what they want to exclude?
Hmm?
So how do they explain Cars? Like, how does Cars fit into that?
Cars fits in where sometime after Up, when the humans left,
really,
cars and things became animate. They're animate objects, and that came from some sort of research done on Up with the dogs who can talk through their voice box, which led to
really. So humans are gone.
It goes deep.
Then how about Onward with the fantasy world?
They don't have Onward. They don't have the newer ones in there. It just goes Brave, Incredibles, Toy Story, Finding Nemo, Ratatouille.
What they do is 2013. They stop with Monsters University is the last one they looked at.
Yeah, Monsters University is the last one. It's pretty neat. I love just seeing how they put it together, and Pixar hasn't struck it down. They didn't say it wasn't.
Because this is good for the fans to talk about it. It gets more fans to watch the new movies to see if they can fit it in, and fan theories are fun.
But yeah, the whole in every movie though they always have a snippet, like a sticker or a poster that's what the next movie is going to be, and nobody ever catches it through. But when they watch it back, they're like, "Oh my god!"
And they all have the Luxo ball. They all have like a number.
Was it Toy Story 2 or 3? They walked by a board and there was stickers on there with Cars.
Yeah.
And it was like, okay, that's Cars 3 that's coming out.
Yeah, they do that. It's true. Pixar is a pretty fun company. All right, but to move along because we are getting along, just talk about. I know I think Teddy kind of wanted to go a little bit more in depth to it, but how about if we just do a short version this time? We just do our best of
Do it a little
2020.
longer next time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
why don't we do that
can
next time?
Part one
when we
and
go
part
through the whole
two.
decade.
Yeah, for the decade thing. Yeah, we can do it another podcast.
And for
I
today,
want
could be
y'all to
good.
really remember and find like. But
Yeah.
you know, some of the questions I have is like, what was your first home console that you purchased yourself?
Oh, okay. Yeah, how about
And
say
you know, I know a lot of us purchased I purchased my first console within the 2000 and 2001. That was
he
the
has
first
the
console
date and
I
everything
bought with
written
my
down.
own money.
Super Nintendo.
Yeah, mine was Super
Nintendo.
I
Nintendo.
sold my Nintendo and all my Nintendo games, which I regret.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
I think I bought a
Mode
Game Boy
on.
before my Super Nintendo.
Oh,
But I
wow.
mean home console.
Home console, Super Nintendo.
Nintendo.
Yeah, but save it, Teddy.
You
Save
bought
those
that with
questions
your own money, or was it bought for
with
you?
my own money.
Oh, my money.
Yeah, save it, Teddy. Though we could do kind of a little get to know us, and we can ask some questions about that, like our history and stuff.
No, you.
And so basically, another question I have is, what is your favorite last gen game?
So
The last
what's last
generation,
gen? Like
last
PS4?
generation?
From the last gen, so from 2007 to
What do you mean,
now.
PlayStation 4?
Or PlayStation 3?
PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and
Which was the Switch
Switch.
count? Or does Switch count as next because they're still around?
it's their next generation console.
When
that
did
came out.
PS4 come out? 2013?
2013 was the
2012?
Switch.
No.
No, 2013 was the
Maybe Wii U.
Okay.
Wii U. And then 2007 was the Wii. And then 2001 was the game.
Favorite game from this last gen?
Yeah, so favorite game from this last gen. And I didn't get to play a lot of games from this last gen, but I did have a couple on the.
Yeah,
The
go ahead,
Nintendo
go ahead
Game
and start it,
Boy.
and Teddy, tell us.
Well, I'm a first and foremost Nintendo player, so one of my favorite games was actually the game just not Starfield, Starlink, not Starlink.
Starlink with the
Yeah.
planes?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah?
thought that was a really fun game going. It was like I wanted to play No Man's Sky, and I didn't have anything. My
Close,
computer
yeah.
wasn't good. I didn't have a console, so it was the next best thing. You go in outer space, you fly down to a planet, you explore, you upgrade. It had a nice skill tree thing it was fun.
Cool.
What was
I'm
that
glad you
game
liked it.
where? What was that game where you went out of space? It was like not Star Trek and not Star Wars, but it was sort of a
Battlestar Galactica?
no. It was an old game. It's not Battlestar Galactica. Oh, dang.
But it's
Star Fox.
What?
Star
Star
Fox?
Fox.
No, it wasn't Star Fox. It was probably around that time, but it was more for PC. But I think it came out for consoles also.
Hmm.
Oh, dang it!
Commander, Flight Commander, Last Commander.
Wing Commander. Descent.
Wing Commander, maybe it was that one.
Descent.
No, Wingcat.
Descent was awesome, but that was like indoors the whole time.
Yeah.
But this was like in outer space. You're just shooting.
Wing Commander.
I think it's Wing Commander. Yeah.
Okay.
Wing Commander came up with something in the last 10 years.
No, I'm saying how you were saying you wanted to be. You were looking for a game that you could go explore, and
Planets.
Oh,
that was Wing Commander to me because it was like wasn't real 3D, but it was almost as if you could really go and you're really floating somewhere.
yeah.
Or hardware could actually really do that, so you have to pretend. You know.
Yeah, it was fun because you were in outer space and it was like, okay, nothing and stars going by. And it was like, okay, you got 20 yards or 2,000 miles to this area. You're like, oh, I'm really flying. You just
Yeah.
sort of suspended your
It's an
Your-
illusion, yeah.
disbelief. But I think for us, we had to learn to do that, especially growing up in the Nintendo era. And
Yeah, it makes you appreciate like the games that finally made it today.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But the games that had it tough were the ones that they didn't have the hardware and they had to try and do it a different way.
Yeah, and that's where innovation comes from. That's where innovation
Yeah.
was born in the game universe. Is when you had to make a sprite look like something. It's like, okay, it doesn't look like Mario's lips, so let's make it a mustache, and it worked, and now it's iconic.
Oh, even same with movies. That's what makes movies like when they overcome their shortcomings. That's
Yeah.
how ingenious things.
Yeah, they're all
comes.
it's a little too obsessed with like the special effects.
Yeah.
than storytelling. That's today's movies. It's like all CGI,
I love a good
very little
visual effects.
storytelling.
That's why I like Star Wars and The Mandalorian. Their visual effects were awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The
I
Mandalorian.
thought you didn't see the new Star Wars.
No, Mandalorian.
And the old
With
Star
Star Wars,
Star
they
Wars.
use a lot of, especially recently, they've been using a lot of more, getting back to the visual effects. And I love that.
You like practical effects, though? Not? Or
nah,
CG?
yeah, practical. Practical effects. I love, I mean, that's what we grew up with. And with, what's that movie with the flying dog dragon? Never Ending Story.
With the pearls on its back.
Yeah, Dark Crystal. Yeah. All these stuff had visual effects and puppets.
They're practical, though, yeah.
It was practical, I'm sorry. Yeah. Practical visual.
So they're all visual effects, but
that's where I live. That's where I enjoy storytelling most.
All right. So I guess my biggest game for the last generation would have been probably Phantom Pain. Metal Gear Solid 5. I play that game a lot.
Oh, yeah?
And you start seeing, like, in real life, it got, like... Because I would see these... Because you'd put these balloons on, like, different things, like goats and, like, containers and stuff. And then you end up in real life looking at these things and, like, man, I just want to, like, put a balloon to it and airlift it out of here. Or different herbs. And
excuse me, sir.
It's a fun game. Really liked it.
Did you try Metal Gear Solid
5? Sekiro.
What's that? Oh, one of those?
Oh.
Sekiro? That would be my favorite one.
Yeah.
For the last gen, I guess.
And Bloodborne was also really good. I gotta go back and play more.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about 2020? Anybody got any favorites?
Gainer.
Oh, Gainer-kun, Last Generation.
What are we considering Last Generation? Switch?
Yeah.
The last generation. Even if it's previous, this is their generation. So yeah, the generation we're in.
Street Fighter 3.
Street Fighter 3.
Anniversary edition.
Anniversary collection.
Everything.
Everything.
Always
it never dies.
What's your gamer handle if people want to find you and challenge you on Street Fighter?
I'd have to look on my
on your Switch. Is it Gainer 7?
Might be on Switch, yeah.
How about 2020, guys? You guys got any favorites? Just anything. Movies. So the movies was rough this year. There wasn't that much movies. Some streaming stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mainly watch. Is a lot of streaming shows that came on, but I never.
How about games that came out this year? I think Phasmophobia was a big one.
Yeah, that was a surprise hit. I'm surprised that I liked it as much as I did.
That was a good game. It surprised us.
Astro's Playhouse.
Astro's, yeah, I hear good things about that.
It's a good game. It's fun.
Astro's
Playhouse. Simple, not long.
There was a lot of games I wanted to get this year that just bad timing.
Cyberpunk. What do you think? That make your top test?
That was. I loved. I'm enjoying that game. I like the exploration. It just so much reminds me of being on Fallout.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps comparing it to me, but for me, it's a Fallout game that
I was gonna say it's Fallout with people populating it.
Yeah. It's Fallout before Fallout happened.
Yeah, exactly.
How about TV shows? You guys watch anything stand out this year?
Mandalorian.
Yeah, that was a good show. Dark. I've talked about him weekend because I'm still watching, but his Dark Materials, Lovecraft Country. I'm trying to think earlier in the year, man. 2020's been long and fast at the same time.
Yeah. What you call it was last year, right? The Witcher?
High Score Girl?
High Score Girl.
Yeah. I finished all of
The Witcher last year?
Oh, Witcher's last Christmas. But I didn't watch it until this year, at the beginning of this year. I really liked The Witcher.
What else have I just been keeping up with the Expanse, so...
Oh, yeah. I'm trying to think what else I watched earlier this year. This Korean drama, It's Okay to Not Be Okay. That was really good.
Have you watched that Ice Fantasy?
Is it an anime?
It's it's a live action Korean drama, martial arts.
That's the one with the dolls?
No, it's live action kind of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style.
Oh, what's it called?
Ice Fantasy.
I'll have to look it up now.
It used to come on in this area around early 2000s, unlike the Asian channel that you can get locally, and I would always tune into it on Saturday afternoons, and it was like, wow, this is pretty. And they actually made a movie out of it, and
Huh.
I can't. The movie was just one name, like Flying Daggers, Ice Daggers, or something similar to that.
House of Flying Daggers.
Was it House? No, not House. It was.
There's a movie
Ice
called that.
Daggers.
That's what I was wondering. House of
I'm gonna have to
Flying
look it
Daggers.
up. But yeah, it's a really good. It's on Netflix.
Okay.
And so, I mean, just the
I'll have to look it up.
effects of it's about like two brothers. One gets left here, and then they have to fight, and they find out that they're brothers, and it's actually like
I always like a good
Wow.
martial arts show.
it was
Visual
really
effects.
good. I'm trying to think what the yeah, it's a Chinese epic fantasy television drama based on
So it's not
Guo
Korean.
Jinsming's best-selling novel, City of Fantasy.
City of Fantasy.
Yeah,
Okay, but it's called Ice Fantasy.
yeah.
Check it out. Thank you, Teddy. Alrighty, guys. Well, to wrap this up, of course, we're going to have some words of wisdom from Theodius as we present Teddy's treat.
Oh, is it my turn?
I was going to try to be as
Oh, God.
silent as long as we can. Teddy's
No.
treat.
Let me think of a good one. I used one earlier today, and I was like, oh, that's not appropriate, but
Maybe dad's jokes. Dad jokes.
Teddy's,
Oh, yeah,
Teddy's wisdom.
well, no, I was going to ask you before we left, Larry. Have you had any up dog lately?
What's up, dog?
What's up, dog? There you
Yes,
go.
I said that as slow as I could because I knew. What's up, dog?
Well, the other night when I went to my girls' family's house, a lot of them didn't know that, so I was like, "Hey, anybody want some Hertz donuts?" They're
Oh
like,
my
"What's a Hertz
gosh.
donut?" Hertz donut.
Did they all think you were hilarious?
You should call it. You should call this segment Papa Teddy's jokes.
Papa Teddy, even though he has no,
Dad jokes incoming. You have like a little alarm. Brap, brap.
he's a dad of no
Warning.
kids.
Dad jokes coming through.
I'm gonna start pulling out my bag of dag jokes. And
We're just gonna be quiet for like 2-3 minutes, and you can just say whatever you want, Teddy. You can rant on something, you can impart wisdom. Just
Yeah.
Teddy's.
Next time I will be ready for Teddy's words of rantism.
All right, next. So that was just give. You don't have a treat on you?
Not
just
today. Not today.
Like
It's
you know,
been
like don't
crazy.
do drugs,
I've been
stay in school.
concentrating on the,
Don't do
our homework.
don't do school, stay in drugs. Yeah,
I like that one.
If only the arcades told us that.
I know. All right, gentlemen. Well, if thanks everybody for listening. Check us out on YouTube and on Twitter. We also at Scatterbrain ST. And thanks everybody. Thanks Gainer. Thanks Poot. Thank you Theodius. And it was a lot of fun. And we'll see everybody next time. Bye bye.
Later, everybody.
Yeah.
Later.